Today we're talking about Adamant finance on Polygon. Ladies and gentlemen, this is some of the most lucrative yield farming anywhere on the Polygon Matic ecosystem. This is incredible. First of all, let me say this before we get started. My name is Crypto Wealth. Thank you so much for being here. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you understand what yield farming is already. If you don't, I have an entire video that help you get up to speed about yield farming. I'll put it up in the cards. I'll put it down in the description. Please go watch that video. Get yourself up to speed. Understand what we're doing when we're yield farming. Those of you that understand what yield farming is, I want to tell you, congratulations, Chief, for being here. You know, the rest of the world right now is barely hearing about crypto. If you talk about Bitcoin, if you talk about Ethereum, they might understand what it is. You mentioned Dogecoin or Shiba Coin, they might know what it is. But you start talking about Cardano, XRP, you start talking about Polygon, you start talking about Solana, you go down a list, they get lost, they get confused, their eyes glaze over, they have no idea what you're talking about. Much less you talk about things like decentralized finance, DeFi ecosystem, and yield farming. But those of you that are here, you are early. This ecosystem is incredible. You haven't just heard about crypto. You didn't just buy a little bit of crypto. You started interacting with some of the most incredible financial technology that exists anywhere on the planet today. I don't know if you understand where we're at, but this is cutting edge stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And if you agree with me, do me a favor and smash that like button. Let's start talking about this. So you understand what yield farming is, I'm assuming, if you're watching this video. You understand what a decentralized exchange is, right? Adamant is not a decentralized exchange, and it is not a yield farm. It's what's known as a yield farm aggregator. Let me show you this. SushiSwap, of course, is an exchange, a decentralized exchange. Iron has farms on it, like the Iron farms. There's more to the Iron ecosystem, but they have farms. But this is just one group of farms. You see, Adamant is an aggregator of farms. They have the Iron farms, they have the Curve farm, the KeyDAO farm, the PolyZap, the Elk farms, the SushiSwap farms, they have the Cometh farms, the QuickSwap farms. They have all sorts of farms available here on Adamant. So why use Adamant outside the fact that you could get access to all the farms in basically one space? It's convenient, yes, but why use Adamant? It's because the earnings are so much higher. Let me come down here and show you something specific. Come here, let's look at Iron USDC. On Sushi. Come over here, Iron USDC. But if you look right here, their APY, the APR is 263%. The APY is 1,273%. By the way, if you don't know what the difference in the APR and the APY is, I did an entire video today explaining that. I'll link that above for you. I'll put it in the description. I break that down. It's a very short video, but I also explain these really high yields and what causes the APY to be very high and why is the APY so much higher than the APR. So I encourage you to watch that video. But you notice on Iron right here, the Iron USDC combo on the Iron ecosystem is 1,273% APY. If you come over here, Iron USDC, the exact same one, 2,000, almost 3,000% APY. And over here, you're looking at 1,200% APY. So your APY is doubled on Adamant. And the reason that occurs is because of this right here. On Iron, you're earning these Titan rewards. Once you get a certain amount of Titan, you can withdraw that Titan. You can take it to an exchange. Let me just show you. You get your Titan rewards right here. Then what you do is you send those rewards over to the exchange. You withdraw them. You send them over to the exchange. When you're at the exchange, you have to sell the Titan. You have to buy equal amounts of USDC, equal amounts of Iron, and then you have to send it to the liquidity pool. Get your liquidity pool. You have to put in the liquidity pool, take your liquidity token. And if you don't know what a liquidity token is, go watch the video on how to yield farm. You send that liquidity token over to the yield farm, and you start earning rewards again. And then once those rewards collect, you withdraw them. So this is basically a transaction. This is a transaction here. There's a couple of transactions here. There's a transaction here. So there's several transactions you have to complete. This takes time. You got to wait for the transactions to clear. Even on the Polygon network, that can take a couple of minutes just to complete that entire process. You're probably only going to do it a couple times a day unless you're like full degen. You're just not going to be able to have time to do that all the time. But if you use something like Adamant, Adamant is called a aggregator. Adamant compounds for you automatically. It takes the Titan rewards, it sells them for you, it goes ahead and does the whole thing with the exchange, it gets the liquidity, sends it back to the yield farm, it does all this for you. And sometimes it can do it several times a day, it can do it hundreds of times a day. And that, because it compounds more, that's one thing that can increase your APY a lot, substantially over the course of an entire year. And plus, they have their own token. So here, when you're using Iron right here, you're getting the Titan token. But Adamant still gets the Titan rewards. It still gets the Titan rewards. It just sells them for you to grow your liquidity pair. So what would happen here, if I was to screenshot this for you and come back in a couple hours, you would see that it automatically went up. That's incredible. Plus, the best thing about Adamant token that called the Addy token, we're going to get that to that in a moment, but the rewards from the Addy token blow this whole thing just through the roof. Like, it gets insane. So bear with me for a moment, because when I started putting these pieces together, it just blew my mind. So, and it's going to blow your mind as well. So over here, if you come back in a couple hours, you'll see this number tick up because my liquidity tokens are getting compounded. They're growing over time. If you come over here and you come back in a couple of hours, your liquidity tokens aren't going to change. This number isn't going to change. This is where the liquidity tokens would be. That's not going to change. But what you'll have is you'll have some Titan rewards that you can withdraw. But that's it. So you're missing out on some earnings, because if those rewards were already compounded for you, then you're going to be getting additional earnings. The more they're compounded, the more you're going to be getting. So that's a huge distinction. It's not the best part, but that is a huge, huge distinction. Now, here's something else on Adamant. Adamant, when you getting their Addy token, in order to do this service, Addy basically charges 30%. So they charge 30%. They basically take the rewards, in this case the Titan rewards, for example, and they sell them for Matic. And you get that Matic for holding the Addy token. So let's get to the Addy token for a moment. So you understand this whole process. You understand what they're doing. They're doing all of this for you. They're charging 30%, but it doesn't matter, because that 30% is made up in the fact of how much more they're compounding for you in many cases. Plus, typically you earn far more because of the extra token as well, in this case, the Adamant token. So they take that 30%, and what they end up doing is you end up earning Matic rewards. There's some quick rewards as well from QuickSwap, but they're phasing these out. But you earn Matic rewards. And by the way, you earn Matic rewards. You get paid out in Matic no matter what they're compounding, what token. In this case, it was the Titan token. Sometimes it could be the Sushi token. It could be whatever, right? And whatever token it is that's being earned on the farm, they're taking 30%. They call it a performance fee. They're taking 30% of what you earn, and they're basically using that to go back to the Addy holders. Here's how the Addy token works. There's two functions to this. Now, the problem with most tokens, in most cases, until they get well established, like PancakeSwap or like, the Bunny token or whatever, until they get well established and they have a good reputation, they tend to pump up really high and then they dump. People start mining the token, they yield farm, and they dump the native token. I've even talked about it on this channel. It's one of the safest ways to yield farm is just dump the token. You can do that here, by the way, and it's still very lucrative. You can do that with Adamant. Just to give you an example of what I'm earning right now. So I'm in a lot of these high risk pools, but primarily because I'm looking at, see, this is going to blow your mind. Iron USDC. On the iron farms, you're only earning Titan. But if you come here, look at this. You're earning the auto compounded Titan is 524%. You're getting Addy rewards of another 970%. You're getting auto Addy fee sharing claimed daily. I'll be talking about that in a minute, but that's 1,500%. The total APY shown doesn't even include the LP fees. So the LP fee, the fees you earn from Sushi for providing liquidity is about 33% a year. They're not even including that in this number right here. What you'll see is you'll see the value of your tokens. Another great thing is they give you some good numbers here. You get to see the actual USD value. So if I was to withdraw liquidity right now, and if you don't know how to remove liquidity tokens, I have a video specifically showing you how to remove liquidity tokens. I'll link that above. I'll put that in the description as well. But if I was to withdraw my liquidity tokens, I should have about $1,837 if I turned it all, say, into USDC, for example. That's awesome. You'll see this number go up and down. There's several things that go into play here. The price of these underlying tokens, which both of these are stable coins. Iron is a soft stable coin. Just keep that in mind. That's why this APY is a bit higher than it would be for something like DAI. So the price of the coins plus the compounding of the LPs. So obviously that compound rate is going up as well. But what is not shown here is what you're earning in rewards up here. See, this is just crazy. Earlier today, about 11 hours ago, I cleared this out. So since then, I've gotten 11.48 Matic. So I'll know by tomorrow morning. I'm going to do another video to update you on these rewards. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification icon and click all. Because tomorrow morning I'm going to update on exactly what my rewards are. But clearly, it's looking like it's going to be about 2 Addy tokens, and this doesn't really matter, and probably about 22 Matic rewards in a single day. in a single day. So here's how this works. When you're farming tokens, they get vested. There's several things you want to keep in mind. There's vested, there's stake, and stake and lock. So whenever you're farming tokens, they get vested. So bear with me, because at first this doesn't sound amazing. When they're vested, it basically means that vested ADDI are available. So I have farmed 5 ADDI so far, and I can get out right now. I can claim these ADDI right now if I want. I would have pay a 50% penalty, so I would only get 2.5358. That's all I would get, which, by the way, is, you know, right here over $100 is the price of the token. This token, I saw it go down last night to 39, and I've seen it go as high as 59. So we're near all-time highs right now. So if I was to claim these right now, I could get out 2.5 ADDI tokens. So where does the fee go? We'll get to that. But if I held off and I don't claim it for 3 months, I get the full amount. I get 5. And the way they do that basically is they're released week to week. So everything that I earned this week will get locked up, and they will be available to withdraw starting on the 2nd. And every week, basically, some will be released. So it's literally like you're building up like a future paycheck almost. I mean, if this price holds together, then I'm going to pull out almost $300 worth. If this goes to $100 per token, and it very well could, it could also go down to nothing. That's part of crypto. Just nothing in this video should be financial advice. This may go to 0 or very close. But if it goes to $100, that's going to be $500 worth of ADDI token. The question is, what causes the price to go up? Why doesn't it get dumped? Well, there's a lot of reasons. One is right here what I just told you. You get a 50% penalty if you dump it right away. But if you dump it, it's not a bad thing, by the way, but you're not going to get these rewards. Even when these things are vested right now, even though they're locked up before I can get, this 5 is locked up and I can't get them, I'm still earning Matic rewards and quick rewards. That's what you earn. You don't earn ADDI rewards. That comes from something else. I'll show you in a minute. You earn Matic rewards and quick rewards for just holding the token, even though they're vested. And in 3 months, you can withdraw the full amount. And when you withdraw them, if you wanted to, you could stake them. And when you stake them, you're going to earn performance fees. That's the Matic. There's no lockup, so you can withdraw at any point in time. And it tells you right here that you're going to get about 17% in quick tokens. Again, they're phasing this quick token out. You can get 292%. 292% APY just from fee sharing. That's nuts. And this is the total amount that's vested right now. Ladies and gentlemen, that's incredible. That's incredible. So there's a huge incentive. You make almost 300% APY just for holding the token. And if you wanted to, you're not locked into anything. You can withdraw it at any point in time and sell it. But this is where it gets incredible. Notice I currently have 72 tokens locked. They're vested for 3 months. Should you choose, you can stake them once the 3 months is over. You have to withdraw them first and then stake them. And if you want to stake and lock them, you can do that. But if you do that, you get the exact same thing. You earn performance fees and penalty fees. I'll get to that in a minute. This is probably the most lucrative part. And this is what makes me the tokenomics here are incredible. And it helps prevent this token from collapsing, which also helps keep the APYs in the whole aggregator very high, because part of the reward that is paid out is the Adamant token. Keeping this Adamant price high helps keep the reward APYs high. And I think this tokenomic here of the vesting period and then the ability to stake and lock for another 3 months, by the way, a total of 6 months, which is a lifetime in crypto. A lifetime. If this catches on, it's already starting to catch on. There's 169,000 right here. There's almost double this got at stake, but more than half of them have it locked. Now this is huge, because this isn't actually a lot, which means that the rewards are very, very high. What are the rewards? That's this right here. So I'm getting almost 2 ADDI. I'll let you know by tomorrow, because I told you I'm going to re-record this video to update these earnings. I'm getting almost 2 ADDI per day for having these 72 locked up. All fairness, I actually bought these near the low here. I bought them at 35 or 36, and I bought them at maybe it's 38, and I also bought them in the low 40s. So I made 2 purchases here. Actually, I made 3 purchases, but it's all in the low 40s is the highest I paid. And this prices went up. Now I don't know if it's going to pull back. If it does, I'm going to buy some more, because I want to keep stacking, because I think this tokenomic is incredible. What this does, it locks up the circulating supply. And so it helps keep the price high. Most people can't wait 3 months. Most people yield farming are selling the native token. So they're going to be cashing out. And that's why these penalties, these rewards from penalties, that 50% goes to all of us that are locked. Again, you don't get to 50% if you're staked. You have to lock for 3 months. And when you lock it up, you're getting those Addy rewards. Now, here's the thing. These Addy rewards are not locked. I can withdraw these and sell them if I want. But think about it. I got 72 here. I'm going to get, let's just keep it round and say I get 2 by tomorrow. Maybe I don't get quite 2. Maybe I get like 1.7, 1.8. But let's just say I get 2. If that continues over the next 30 days, I'm going to have more than I've got locked. These rewards are epic. Like, it is ridiculous. And by the way, here's some proof of these rewards. It's right here on plain sight on the home page. It's amazing to watch. The Addy market cap, if you're not familiar with market cap, it's the total supply times $58.49. That comes out to $23 million. But the monthly, here's the keyword. This is monthly. The monthly profits to all Addy stakers. The monthly profits. It doesn't say locked tokens, but I'm going to assume this is locked tokens as well. If not, it's even better than this. In fact, it might not be considered the locked tokens. But the monthly rewards is 5 million. If you do the math on that, that means it's over 20% a month in rewards. Now, I don't know if that considers locked tokens. Let's just say that it does. For locking these tokens up, basically I'm going to get 20% rewards in a single month in a combination of Matic, Quick, and Addy when I lock them up. Now, I told you that it was 20%, but the reality is if you watch this right here, sometimes it goes, at least I'll probably put this video out, it'll never get this low again. But sometimes this will go all the way down to about 30%. This number will be like 15, or, you know, the price that go down to, you know, $30, and this thing's sitting here at like 15 million, and this is sitting here like 4.5 million, somewhere in that range, maybe 5 million. I have seen it over 30%. In fact, at one point I saw it almost 40%. I couldn't believe it. And all you got to do is just do 5 divided by 23 if you don't know how to do that. 5 divide 23. Move the decimal 2 places to the right. 21.73% right now on this current price. Now, if you buy Addy tokens, if you buy Addy tokens, they're not locked. You don't have to lock them up. You can just stake them, and they're never vested. The only tokens that are vested are newly minted tokens from farming, and they're vested for 3 months unless you want to claim them, and then you can claim them and pay a penalty. And your penalty goes to everybody else that believes in the platform and they have their tokens locked up. And because far more people are going to farm and dump than are ever going to lock up tokens, and so the people getting the additional Addy are the people who believe in locking up their tokens. I mean, that's a very smart way to set up a reward system. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very bullish on this token. I could be wrong. Don't take this as financial advice. I mean, I talked about a yield farm the other day, Polygon, and they freaking rugged. So don't follow me into a platform just because I'm talking about it. I'm sitting here as a mediocre YouTuber. Don't just jump in. You go to the Telegram, do your own research, ask around. If nothing else, subscribe to the channel and let's see what the monkey does. The monkey being yours truly. I love this. What I'm planning to do, my goal is I'm trying to get this to about 300 Addy tokens. Because at about 300 Addy tokens, most often, this ends up being pretty close to 30%. So at about 300 Addy tokens, if this ranges around $50, you know, you do the math, that's about $5,000 a month. And I'm probably just going to dump that into my trading account. Boom, boom, boom. Because my trading account, I don't know that this is long term. My trading account is much more long term. The strategies we're using in trading right now are doing about 10% a month. So I would prefer to trade. That's going to be a longer term deal is what I'm getting at. So my goal is just to get to 300 tokens, and then hopefully I'll be earning roughly 100 tokens a month, or between 50 to 120 tokens a month in rewards, and I'll be able to sell those rewards at that point if I want to. That's going to be what, about 5,000 a month. Who knows if it's going to happen? Subscribe to the channel. You can follow me. We'll see if it actually happens. But this has been Adamant Finance on Polygon. Right now, today, at the time of this video, there is no more lucrative established farm or aggregator anywhere on the Polygon Matic ecosystem. If you have any questions about yield farming at all, do me a favor. If you have any questions at all about yield farming, do me a favor and put them down in the description. I'm going to go through the questions. I want to create another video that's really kind of a full tutorial on yield farming, but I want to make certain that I'm addressing your questions specifically as one of my viewers. So I want to make certain that I'm doing everything I can to actually help you out. Think carefully about any questions you have. Put them down in the comments. I'll read through them, and hopefully I'll put together a video that's going to address all of your questions. Thank you so much for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to understand more about how to yield farm, I'll put a video on the end of the screen. If you want to understand the difference in APY and APR, I'll put that video on the end of the screen as well. And if you want to know how to remove liquidity pool tokens once you put them into the farm, I have a full walkthrough tutorial where I actually show you how to do that step by step. I'll put that on the end screen as well. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, decentralized cryptocurrency equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.